Hey folks, Dr. Palermo with another video for Mel's 605 OS section. It's week 7 of our spring semester, your last spring semester for the Mel's program, and a little bit of information about this week, and also a comment about your evidences, the work that you're doing, and my feedback to you on it. The readings this week, Hersey Blanchard Johnson, uh, interesting chapter 8 on power. Um, Power is a matter of perception. Use it or lose it, Hersey says on 145. And 144 in my text, some stuff about power. The concept of power is not based on the reality of how much power the manager has, but rather the follower's perception of that power. So again, why do you want to be a principal? And if we're moving out of the classroom into an assistant or principal's role as a supervisor, what does it mean to have power? Well, Hersey talks about the different types of power. If you haven't thought about this, coercive power, managing with fear, connective power, reward power, legitimate power. Sounds like we maybe want to move in that direction. Referent power, information, expert power. I have known principals who've been experts about various different fields or different types of methods of instruction and stuff, and certainly that's an example. But asked you to do a meditation on power and how things work in your organization, and to respond in the post about, let's see, it's on 143 in my text, this um, selling up and managing down. So show me that you understand that concept with your post. That's one of the posts this week. In Glickman, you're going to be reading about supervision, and also the shift towards self-management in chapter observing skills. Sorry, Glickman is chapter 12, assessing and planning. Want to see a planning tool, maybe a Gantt chart that you might could have used in that 5E, or observing skills. I did ask you to do an observation. That's the reason that the North Carolina Evaluation Manual is in here. You certainly did not have to do that. I think some of you might be doing peer observations in service for your peers at your school, and if you wanted to do that or use that peer observation and then comment on it, that is another one of the posts this week. Yeah, to use a formative observational tool. You didn't have to use the North Carolina form, observe a teacher and provide formative feedback to that teacher. Don't provide the feedback in the Blackboard post, please, but do reflect on the process, and probably one page, not more, about what you learned from the assignment. So if you've never done an observation of a peer, do it and reflect on it, and write about it in the post for Glickman chapter 13, observing skills this week. Backing up to Glickman chapter 12, the assessing and planning skills. There are a variety of different tools explained here. Do you use flow charts or Pareto charts, fishbone charts? Have you used quality tools like affinity diagrams? Great planning tools and analysis charts. Use one, please. If you've never done that before, find one, get a flow chart from a process at school, and share it in this post. So lots to do this week. And then back up to Hersey, again, responding and thinking about that selling up, managing down. So 3 posts based on those couple of readings. Now, what about how about the evidences that you're posting? Well, I've taught in Mel's for several years, but the peer review process is new to me this semester. If you had experience with it last semester, you already have more experience than I do in the peer observation process as it's outlined in that peer observation kit. Most of you, all of you have now posted your CAP E and provided feedback to at least two peers. So I provided points again based on my understanding of that process. If you posted, read others, responded to others in a timely fashion, then you got credit for that assignment. So do the same thing with the SciApp F. That's due to be posted this week for the first time for the peer review process in Blackboard. So post, and then we will next week in March, first week in March, start the review process. But by Sunday of this week, February 28th, please post your SciApp F graphic organizer. Your best understanding of that, and write to me if you have any questions about, very similar to the CAPI, a graphic organization tool that will summarize your SciApp and the action plan, or yes, what's going to happen in your school improvement action plan. Readings, feedback. SciApp F is to be posted in Blackboard for peer feedback this week. CAP is due for evaluation in TaskStream and in Blackboard. So you're resubmitting these things lots of places, lots of times. But I want to give you a grade for your completed evidences, the CAPI and the SciApp F, as part of MEL 605. So please load them in Blackboard. I will allow 2 attempts in Blackboard for an assessment grade. I'm assessing them on the same 1, 2, 3, 4 rubric and point scale that you'll have in TaskStream. Try to be parallel and align those. But again, if you don't get full credit the first time on a submission to me for an assessment in Blackboard, after you may have 2 attempts on the CAPI and SciApp F. Right, again, if you have a question about that. That's all for this week. Thank you. A lot of work to do. Don't forget to look ahead to the other assignments like this observing skills that are going to be coming up in coming weeks. Thank you.